This is my favorite. This is my favorite one of all of these questions.
N.W.A or Wu-Tang Clan?
That's a rough one.
Shit.
Fuck. Damn.
Yo, you fucking me up, gang.
N.W.A or Wu-Tang?
This is why this debate is very tricky. N.W.A and Wu-Tang didn't fully exist at the same time. N.W.A came up in the late 80s and burned through the early 90s. Wu-Tang came right after, in the early 90s, and carried their wave deep into the 2000s. They were close enough to be compared, but the hip-hop landscape was totally different in each era. N.W.A was fighting to put West Coast rap on the map at a time when hip-hop was still new to mainstream America.
White guys walking together are friends. 5 black guys walking together is a gang. In the police eyes. You know what I'm saying?
Only thing they're doing is making, drawing attention to our records. Making people want to hear what they're trying to stop them from hearing.
Wu-Tang entered when rap was already nationwide and turned it into something global.
Making it harder for all them commercialized people to get through, because now real hip-hop is being seen and shown every day on your radio and on your video. And so when you start seeing the garbage, you start to determine the difference. And you're going to make a choice. And then when this start happening, it's going to be another, it's going to keep growing. The next thing you know, all that garbage is going to be out of there. Because they was starving for some real hip-hop. I mean, they was tired of all that whackness, man. When they got a chance to hear fat lyrics and fat tracks, that's like getting bananas and Silvio. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
So comparing them isn't really apples to apples. Musically, both groups shifted the game in their own ways. N.W.A literally invented gangsta rap. Before them, hip-hop was mostly party records, battle raps, and bragging about skills or lifestyle. N.W.A came and started rapping about inner-city street life, police brutality. They created the template, everyone else followed. Without them, there's no Snoop Dogg, no Tupac, no 50 Cent. The entire DNA of gangsta rap runs back to N.W.A.
We rap about what's going on, what we like to do, and sex just happens to be a big part of what we're doing.
I like to fuck. I don't know about you guys. I like to fuck.
Just think about it. Before N.W.A came out, there was nobody out there doing gangster rap. We're the inventors of gangster rap music.
Wu-Tang, on the other hand, did something that shouldn't have worked on paper but ended up genius. RZA was so obsessed with kung fu movies that he created a rap group and designed them like a kung fu clan. They fused rap and kung fu so well that they made black dudes want to be Chinese. To me, that's influence on another level.
We knew it was going to hit because it was too many of us. People didn't understand it at first, you know what I'm saying? We even took that and tried to shop it. You know what I'm saying? They didn't understand it at first because they hey, a bunch of black guys, they want to be Grandmaster Flash, Furious 5, you know what I'm saying? That's how they took it. But watch me now, you know what I'm saying? And when we did Protecting That, came out bad, I knew it was going to be that joint that's going to make us rise.
We grew up on 42nd Street watching Kung Fu flicks on the Deuce. You know, we all know about that. And usually, like we spoke about Wu-Tang, man, when you deal with martial arts, Wu-Tang is a sword style of rhyming. And all we did was apply the morals of the stories to our everyday life basis. The brotherhood, the trust, the respect, the honor, the discipline. And we just applied all that to everything we do, man.
Don't even get me started on their influence to the culture. N.W.A wasn't just a rap group, they were a movement. Their records sparked debates in Congress, news headlines, and protests. The media called them dangerous. Parents hated them. But for the youth, they were heroes. They were saying what everyone else was afraid to say.
So everybody, put the middle fingers high in the sky. Until the punk-ass cop backstage. Yo, Dre. What up? I got something to say.
Wu-Tang's cultural impact was different, but just as deep. They created a lifestyle. Their slangs became part of everyday speech. Their fashion, hoodies, Timberlands, Wallabies, and later Wu-Wear spread across the world. And they gave Staten Island pride. Before Wu-Tang, nobody was bragging about being from the Shaolin. After Wu-Tang, it became an identity. They proved rap didn't have to just be about gangs and drugs. It could be about philosophy, brotherhood, and movies. That's why you see Wu-Tang's influence not just in music, but in film, TV, comics, and even gaming. But here's where I think Wu-Tang really separates themselves. N.W.A definitely changed the industry. Eazy-E was one of the first to flip street money into a legit record label. Ice Cube showed that rappers could cross into Hollywood and build bigger careers. Dre leaving to form Death Row gave us Snoop, Tupac's Death Row era, and eventually the G-Funk sound dominating the 90s. Later, Dre would discover Eminem, 50 Cent, and eventually Kendrick. That's one of the most powerful family trees in music history. But Wu-Tang did something that I personally would consider revolutionary.
So my thing was every label should get a Wu vibe to help elevate the label, the culture, the money, everything. Cause I was like, this is everybody gonna pop. You know what I mean?
There's power in having it distributed across multiple labels.
Multiple
and
labels.
Meth already was at Def Jam.
Meth was at Def Jam. We already talked with Steve about he wanted to keep Ray. You know, he wanted Ray and Jizza, but Geffen came too strong. Geffen just came with $500,000 for Jizza, you know what I mean? So he caught the biggest solo deal at the time.
And then even you with Gravediggers went to G Street.
Yeah.
Like everyone literally went someplace else.
Yep. And everything went gold and platinum.
RZA negotiated something nobody had done before. Wu-Tang would sign as a group, but each member was free to sign solo deals with other labels. That meant Method Man could be on Def Jam, Raekwon on Loud, Jizza on Geffen, all pushing their own careers while still promoting Wu-Tang as a whole. That strategy multiplied their influence. Instead of one label pushing one act, you had multiple labels all invested in different Wu-Tang members. On top of that, Wu-Tang was one of the first to fully understand hip-hop as a brand. Wu-Wear was one of the first successful rap clothing lines. And that logo, the giant W, became one of the most recognizable symbols in hip-hop. Wu-Tang created a franchise. They showed rappers you could build an empire, not just a career.
It took years to build. It's nothing that just came overnight. It's like Wu-Tang, it was just something that we just grew into. Like I said, from 81 and 80 and 79 with the Kung Fu flicks and us applying mathematics, because we study mathematics, we deal with Islam and all that, you know. And everything just built up, like one by one. You know, the brothers we grew up with, like Method Man and all them, we all from the same projects. We brothers from the same projects that got together to work on one project, to escape the projects. You know, not only just move out, but just escape the things that we were subjected to from just being within the projects. So it was something that it was a concept, but it was built over years. It just didn't come overnight. It just didn't, let's hook up, let's do this, let's do this, let's do that. And it's Wu-Tang and it's just one big thing. It's like, it took years to build.
N.W.A created gangsta rap. They gave birth to the careers of Ice Cube, Dr. Dre, and Eazy-E's Ruthless Records empire. Dre's influence alone through Snoop, Eminem, 50 Cent, The Game, Kendrick is enough to cement N.W.A.'s place in history. But N.W.A.'s lifespan as a group was short. By the early 90s, they were done. Their legacy lives mostly through what the members did after. Wu-Tang inspired a couple of collectives too, but what I value most about what they did was that they showed rappers how to think bigger than music, how to create a brand that lives forever. The Wu logo still sells merch today. Their influence spread into TV, video games, comic books, you name it. Wu-Tang created a blueprint that rappers are still using to this day. Honestly, I think Jay-Z's empire, from Rockefeller to Rock Nation, owes a lot to the vision Wu-Tang left behind.
Jay-Z don't exist if Wu-Tang don't exist.
Fact.
Straight up. And I'm not saying that with an ego. Right. I'm saying if we didn't come with cream and slow it down and put that culture into it, because at the time he's
no,
Wu
Gambino makes Jay-Z.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. And of course, nothing but respect to him, because he took it
And he took it and multiplied it into what he does.
So, who had the bigger influence? I think they were both pioneers. They both had a role to play in hip-hop history. N.W.A. gave us gangsta rap, made the West Coast a force, and created stars whose branches still run through hip-hop today. Without them, there's no Snoop, no Eminem, no Kendrick. But when we zoom out and look at the bigger picture, the music, the culture, the business, the legacy, Wu-Tang's influence feels even bigger. They didn't just change what hip-hop sounded like, they changed how hip-hop operates. They built the blueprint for collectives, for branding, for independence. They built the business playbook rappers are still following today. So if I had to choose who had the bigger overall impact, I'd lean towards Wu-Tang. But at the end of the day, that's the beauty of hip-hop history. These groups didn't cancel each other out, they built different parts of the culture.
N.W.A. or Wu-Tang Clan?
No, we don't. I personally don't like you guys being.
Everybody doesn't like this question because of the different eras. But what I'm saying is, it's the same impact, even though it's different eras. Like what N.W.A. did for Los Angeles, California, West Coast period was change everything.
Right.
They made people start wearing curls. They made people start wearing bandanas. They made people start, crip walking, gang banging. What Wu-Tang did, you made black motherfuckers want to be Chinese, Japanese. You made motherfuckers wearing, hold on, let me read this. Like you changed the culture.
When NWA brought the hip hop and when they brought to the culture, it's undeniable. And we don't have Kendrick at the Super Bowl if NWA don't exist.
Absolutely.
Okay? NWA gives us Dr. Dre.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It helps.
NWA gives us Ice Cube. If we don't got Ice Cube, I don't make movies. NWA influence is actually the influence of hip hop. It's like, they both had to do a job. They both had to do a job. Okay? And the measurement of that job, you have a guy at the Super Bowl. But hold on. Who's the guy that hired him?
Jay-Z.
Jay-Z don't exist if Wu-Tang don't exist.
Fact.
So now it's your turn. Who do you think had the bigger influence? N.W.A. or Wu-Tang? Drop it in the comments. That's it for today's breakdown. If you enjoyed this deep dive, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and check out the other videos on the channel where we explore hip-hop history from different angles. Thanks for watching.